I'm trying to make a new mechanic here. We do want to have something similar to what I apparently called an air elevator, but I'm not sure the mechanic is as I don't know, like as dynamic as I would like for it to be. So let's see what we can do there. And then we also want to make a swinging rope mechanic. It's not necessarily a rope. Don't know how to describe it yet, but it's going to be something like, a player goes into an area where they swing around, but maybe like in an orb form or like a light form. And depending on when they jump out, they'll get shot across the screen in a certain direction. I'm not sure how clean it could be, because like we might want to keep it bound to like 8 directions. Actually, I'm trying to think what would make most sense, because like allowing the player to dash or like jump out of it in any direction could give us some problems. I'm not sure. As long as as long as you're jumping into a mechanic that doesn't care too much about that, like the air elevator. So if we combine it with the air elevator, it might not be too much of a problem, because they could land up here or they could land over here. It doesn't matter too much. At least that's what I'm getting at the moment. I'm not sure. But yeah, first I think we're going to update this air elevator. And what I think I want it to do is, I think I want the full force of the air elevator to like basically build up momentum for the player. So like after, or I guess maybe once they enter like a close area, we could honestly just maybe bring this down a little bit. Maybe it'll slow down the player, or like reset the player's gravity, or maybe just slow it down until they reach this point. But the second they hit the bottom, they should get shot back up. And the second they leave this area, they should go like maybe, I don't know, like just a few feet over. Or we could leave it the way it is at the moment, and this would be the max. So we wouldn't notice too much of the the additional velocity of the player up here, but they would notice it up here. And since we don't, honestly, we don't actually see the top of the hitbox, they wouldn't know. But I think we would want to update this a bit. Like we should put this in the corner here, and we should try to see what our max velocity could be. Add an offset to this. We'll leave it like that. Move this to 14. And our CPU particles we'll put in the center here. Hey, how's it going, YouTunes? This seems closer to the center. What's our our rectangle extension? Oh, it is 16. So these are both. Oh, this is not a full 32. Okay. So this is like a half. So we would put like a quarter this way. Doesn't matter too much. We'll update this. Honestly, I think it should be either. We should keep it consistent. So it should either be 3 tiles or 4 tiles. I won't update the sprite today, or maybe we will. But for now, we're just gonna leave it like this for like debugging and testing out the mechanic. How you doing, YouTunes? So let's see. I think what we'll do is I actually don't remember how this works, but it seems like this works independently from the player. So no matter what state the player is in, we move the player up. So what happens if I dash into it? Let's see. So it doesn't matter if we dash. I guess because, well, I don't know why. Let's see. Lift player on area entered. Add velocity. Player add velocity on area entered. Player.motion.y is equal to Oh, this is on area exited. And then lift player. I'm sure maybe we probably run this in our... Oh, no. Player node does not equal null, add velocity. Lift node, player node. I wonder why it doesn't happen in the dash state. I mean, we don't want it to work in the dash state. I just don't know why it doesn't work in the dash state. But what I think we want to do is maybe grab the distance from the origin or from like the center of the CPU particles node. So here, let's do this. Already node var center position is equal to CPU particles dot global position. This might mess us up. We'll see. Let's see. Print. Center position 204 negative 66. So this is, I think, its local position on in the room. So maybe we'll want to set it a little bit later. Think about this. Honestly, we could just compare it. Like once the player enters the hitbox, then we can grab the global position. Because that's really the only time it matters. So maybe we'll just leave this as vector 2.0. I think we could just say vector 2. I might just leave it like that. Misplaced built-in type. Let's see. Okay. So on area entered, this is probably when we want to do it. So if our player node is not equal to null, this is when we run it. Oh, if add velocity. So add velocity is set to true almost immediately. I think what we might want to do is maybe scale up the velocity of like the motion. So like if the player's distance to the object, like we'll keep on adding something that's a little bit higher than like the player's gravity or their motion. So like if they were to jump up on it, I guess it would just be a little bit more powerful than, or maybe just make it a little slower than the player's gravity, so you can feel the motion, but it's not enough to lift the player. And then once the distance from the center node is like, I don't know, 2 tiles away, or maybe 1 tile away, that's when they'll get shot up. And then at the end of the hitbox, if they're all the way up there, we'll add this motion is equal to negative 175. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'll be waiting for the video. Something strange happened. What happened yesterday? Hey, how's it going, DV? Welcome. Doing pretty good. I'm taking a small break from working on the Kickstarter, just because it's going a lot slower than I anticipated, which I guess is fine. I mean, I could release it the way it looks right now, but it's like I'm not satisfied with it at all. I'd like to polish it some more. So yeah, we're just working on more mechanics. And yeah, part of the Kickstarter was like, hey, like I'm working on this Kickstarter, and I'm like, I don't know. I guess you're your greatest critique, so you're like, I don't know. Hey, this is not good enough. So I want to add more mechanics. So I plan on adding 3 more mechanics to the game. One being this one, which we've already worked on. It's just it's not ideal just yet. So I'm going to fix this one. I'm going to add a like rope swinging mechanic. So like, you know, you catch a rope. It's not going to be a rope swinging mechanic, but it's going to be very similar. You know, you catch a rope, it swings, and then based on when you jump out from the swing, it'll shoot you in a certain direction. But this rope is going to go in a full, you know, 360 degrees. And then one final mechanic that I want to add is like a puzzle type of mechanic. So we're going to add a puzzle to each of these objects here. So, you know, you interact with it. It pops up a new screen of like a puzzle that I haven't thought of. So we're not going to do that today. I'll probably brainstorm some puzzle ideas. It'll be relatively simple. Yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll add it so that, you know, the laser pops up, and then at the end, I don't know if we want to create another secret room right now, but that would be the goal eventually to do with these little stones right there. Play some placeholder sound effects in game, and a little dust effect when you hit the ground after you jump. Oh yeah, I love the feeling with like particles. It makes the game feel good. Like these little poop. It's such a subtle thing that I don't know. Maybe some people won't even notice, but like, you know, the game dev notices. It's like, oh, that's there. It feels good. Oh, I'm gonna die here. Hopefully you can release a demo within 6 months. Yeah, definitely. I think you could release it within 6 months. Alright, so yeah, this is what the mechanic looks like right now. And you can see, it seems like, you know, the player accelerates so fast, and it doesn't add up to like... Oh, I've never noticed that. Like, we kind of just kept our velocity. I'm assuming the player's motion overrides what's happening here. All right, so let's see. How do we even go about this? So let me look at our player code really quick. So we want it to just be slightly more than the player's gravity. So maybe we can say motion.y minus equals delta, but we have a player's gravity being added to this. So wait, let me look at player really quick. Oh, and you know what? We should back everything up. What was I working on? I'll just say level design. I think that's... All right. So I think we have our player gravity. Yeah, our gravity times delta. What is gravity equal to? I would say we would probably want to do like gravity divided by 2. For now, see how that works. Gravity divided by 2 might be too much, honestly, but we'll see. So gravity is equal to 2 times our jump height times jump duration. We'll probably grab this value from our air elevator. So on area entered, let's just do var player gravity. Is equal to, let's just say 0 for now. And then on area entered, we'll say player gravity is equal to player node dot gravity Honestly, we don't even need the player gravity. We can just call this for now we'll leave it as player gravity. And then what we'll do in the lift node function, instead of saying minus equals delta, we'll say player gravity times delta. But we'll want to divide this by something. So yeah, we'll divide it by 2 for now, see how that looks. It might look strange, honestly. We might be like suspended in air for way too long. Hey, how's it going, Dragon Skull? Hey, how's it going, Zombie? Alright. So yeah, we can kind of see it does work, but it's not like it's most definitely not ideal just yet. Let me see. I think what we'll want to do, let me look at this again. We'll want to trying to imagine in my head. Like I don't even know what I want in my head or like what it should look like. Like I have an idea, but it's like the actual numbers and everything hasn't been like set in stone or anything like that. What's up, Chef? How's it going, man? Welcome, everyone. Oh, you're in Jamaica. Nice. That's awesome. Visiting some family and stuff. So, player motion. So we do need to compare this to, I would say, like the distance from the player to the center node. So based on whatever distance the player is to that center node, we're going to want to decrease this value. Or no, we want to increase this value. They took mushrooms to get high berserk mode, so they didn't fear death. You know, actually, that's something that's very common in like. I didn't know that about Vikings. Have you ever seen the show Vikings? There was actually this. I remember there was this one episode where, they took well, I don't know if it was mushrooms, but it was like some sort of like psychedelic from China. They didn't fight with it, but I remember him just taking it, and it like it gave him visions and stuff like that. Put him on his path, so to speak. If I remember correctly, it could have been like opiates too. I don't remember exactly. But I have heard that about other, not about Vikings, but like I think in like African cultures too, or maybe in the Middle East or somewhere. They would take some sort of psychedelics like either mushrooms or whatever's out there, and usually like it gave people more courage and stuff like that, more courage, empathy, and stuff like that. And usually those types of people turned out to be, or like they became leaders because I guess they came to this like realization that they have to do something. Internet isn't best here, so I'll have to go. I'm watching. Oh my goodness, 360p. Do you? I doubt you even see the text that's on our screen right now. I would have to like edit the game like this. They had a meth pill in their inventory lunches, supposedly. Interesting. I guess like I don't know what effects meth really has, but I assume it's like from what I know, it like decreases their tiredness, so they're like more energetic. So I guess if you like microdose that drug, you would be more awake, more aware. I don't know about aware, but more awake, and I guess that's important. Can't even see the chat on my screen. Oh, okay. So we'd have to do something like. Well, everyone's on YouTube at the moment, so maybe you see everything on YouTube. I don't think. I think Zombie's the only one on Twitch right now. Oh, you're literally typing that. That's fine. Frog licking, yeah, stuff like that. And there's this joke, like, there's this joke about, like, if any of you have, like, I'm sure many of you have heard about the, oh yeah, Zombie's keeping it down on Twitch. There's like this story in like the Bible where it's like, like, or I mean, I think it's in the Old Testament and the New Testament where like Moses, it's pretty famous saying or story where like Moses talked to like a flaming bush, but like there's this joke that like the flaming bush was actually like, some sort of drug or like psychedelic. So like maybe like not necessarily marijuana because like it's unlikely that like hemp plants or those types of plants grew where Moses was, but like like ayahuasca or not ayahuasca, but yeah, some sort of psychedelic that you would smoke, and that flaming bush, it got him high, and then he spoke with God. Not saying like that story is true or anything. It's just like that's a common story in the Old and New Testament, and that Moses got high to talk to God. Let me see here. So right now we're just. Let me see if we just did this minus equals player gravity. So we should be suspended, but we're not. But it does work properly, kind of. But yeah, it is buggy. So yeah, this is what it should kind of look like usually. But it seems like maybe delta or something's going on where it's not like perfectly setting the player gravity times delta on the player. Let's see. Print. We might want to write this in our player code to like override some stuff, but yeah, we're just testing stuff out right now. Let me see. Lifting player. Okay, yeah, we are lifting the player, and then sometimes it doesn't work out. So yeah, right now this is what it's supposed to do, but then sometimes we like see right here we're constantly getting moved around. Let me see what state. Yeah, we want to see what state the player is in. So apparently it's lifting the player here, but it's because we're in the idle state. I guess that should actually make sense. We should only do it when the player jumps. And I guess what happens in our jump state is that our velocity is already higher, and the only time we put ourselves in the fall state is once gravity is being negated. So I guess that's what's happening. Our current gravity is always right above 0. So let me think about this. How would we want to do this? we'd want to grab a certain distance from the player, and we'd want it to like accelerate or like increase as the player got closer to the center. I don't know what functions we would do for that, but we'll test it out right now. So let's grab our center position. So on area entered, we'll do it here for now. We'll say center position is equal to CPU timer dot global position, or CPU particles dot global position, and then we want to compare that to player's global position. So let me just do some quick googling. Let me share our window here. Godot. I don't even know what to. I would assume we have to use like some sort of fmod maybe. But I don't. Let me see. No, not. Is it fmod? No. It's let me look it up. We use this for our player node. Look at it here. Oh, it is fmod. Oh, fmod. But they're always using like the fmod software. How does fmod software? Fmod method? Fmod function. Oh, we could just do maybe this. Method. Fmod just returns the remainder apparently. Float moduli, I assume that's what it stands for. So how would this help us? We don't necessarily need a remainder. We need it to like a percentage distance. Maybe we'll just do like raw distance for now. Say like, let's say it's like point. We'll test it out with like a raw distance, and then we'll keep updating it as we go. So let's say we'll say var. We'll probably want to run this maybe in our area enter. We could do it in lift node. We'll probably need to maybe make another function for this, but we'll try it out for now. Let's say we'll do var distance, player distance is equal to 0, and then over here in lift node we'll say player. Yeah, I guess player distance is equal to player node or player dot distance to, or player dot global position dot distance to center position. And then I guess what we can say here is if, or maybe we'll do like a match statement. No, we'll do an if statement for now. We'll say if player distance is equal to or is less than or equal to, let's say, maybe 2 tiles. So once we hit 2 tiles above the center node, which is 16, we'll want to set player gravity or the player motion to equal something greater than gravity. So we'll say times 2. Hey, how's it going, Vibe Slayer? And then else we'll keep it the same way. We'll keep it as regular gravity, or like, yeah, regular opposing gravity. But actually, we might want to actually divide it by 2. This might look strange, but we'll get closer to what we want. Let's see here. Let's try this. Divided by 2. Let me just print some stuff out. Print lifting player. Sinking player. Alright, so it's kind of working, but yeah, we need it to work like in a kind of like a, I don't know, like a parabola. Like it should exponentially increase until we get to the top. And if we're lifting the player, we want it to like continuously happen. And then the second we hit the top of it, it should slow down. So you would get your max energy at this point, and then like medium energy at like somewhere up there. But yeah, if you want the full capacity of this portal, you need to go like way at the bottom. I don't know if that makes the most sense though. Yeah, I mean it should make sense. Like, you know, the full power of I don't know, something that's pushing you up would be at the bottom, kind of like, you know, the tension on a spring. It's kind of similar to a spring, but with air, very powerful air. So let's think about this. In our air elevator, maybe we should have a variable that says, hey, we're starting to lift the player, and then if that's the case, maybe we'll completely ignore these 2 statements for now. So we'll have like, I mean, we do have this add velocity, so maybe we'll get rid of add velocity here, or there's always a velocity being added, but yeah, we can have like a var lift player, and var lift player would shoot the player up a little higher than it usually would. So let's try it out. Lift player false, and then over here, I guess it's hard to tell, but yeah, we'll do it here. Lift player true. And then, yeah, we can leave it the way it is right now. I guess we could say lift player is equal to false here. But if lift player is equal to false, hey, how's it going, Tyrese? I got 10 seconds to tell you to remake. Remake what? Um, so if lift player is equal to false, we'll do this. If lift player is equal to true, we'll want to keep adding velocity to the player, and I guess this would be based on distance. I'm not sure. I think we set player motion originally to like 200, so we'll try, or 2000 actually. But we would want it to accelerate at like a certain rate. And we would also, yeah, let's just try it out. Motion.y. Player.motion.y minus equals, let's say, let's try 2000. This might be actually too powerful. We might want to say negative 2000. Oh yeah. Oh, that is too much. Let's try 200. I remember I put 2000 somewhere, but oh, maybe we like multiplied it by delta or something like that. That's probably what happened. Okay, so this is closer to what we want, I believe. So lift player should be set to false here, but it seems like sinking player should be true at this point, or it should be false at this point, but it's not. If lift player is equal to false, okay, so let's do this. We'll say, let's try this. If player distance is less than or is greater than or equal to, how many tiles do we want? We want it like maybe 10 tiles. So that's one, or that would be 80. 80 might be too low. Player distance is greater than 80. Lift player is equal to false. Oh wait, what? Lift player would be, yeah, lift player would equal to false. How did I make all of this? Just practice, I guess. You know, this game started out as a very, very simple platformer. You know, with very basic skills, jumping and dashing, and you know, after a while, you know, you just keep iterating through over the same stuff over and over, improving it and stuff. I'd say like I do have like some sort of like fixation on making the game look, or like making the mechanics of the game be super responsive and like feel good. That's like my main focus. Does Godot make games on Roblox? I don't think so. So yeah, this is closer to what we want. It does look a little janky at the moment. Yeah, very janky. And yeah, you can see like, oh, you know what it is? In our player function, in our air elevator, we also have this. On area exited, we set the player's motion to equal negative 175. We should get rid of that. It does mess with us a little bit. Okay. So yeah, that's a little closer to what we want. I just want to see how it looks like. If we were to jump into this, yeah, okay, this is kind of closer to what we want. It does look, still does look a little janky though. And if we jump into it, we get some weird results, I think. Alright, so the next issue is that there's no, well, one, we don't have an animation for this, so it looks weird. Like, our player's head is just like, It's like he's stuck in the fall animation, so we'll have to fix that. We could also leave it as like the jump animation. The jump animation doesn't look too bad when we're in this. If we... Yeah, the jump animation would actually probably be ideal because we do want it to slow down the player as they're going down. So let's see. So yeah, godot is its own engine, so I wouldn't know how you would implement it into Roblox. Ninja Turtles game. Is there a similar mechanic to this in Ninja Turtles? All right, so we have to figure out the distance, percentage-wise. I mean, I guess we could still mess with raw values, but it might look janky if we do it that way. But we might just do that for now. So right now, if the player distance is greater than if it's greater than 16, we set the player's gravity to -2, but yeah, maybe we'll have a bunch of distances. So let's try if player distance. Let's do this. Is less than or equal to, let's say 32. We'll go in increments of 2 tiles for now. And they usually should be lower than the player's gravity. So here, we'll do 4 increments. So 32, 40, or maybe, yeah, 48. So this is 8 tiles. What's our size here? On our air elevator, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we have 15. Calculator, 15 times 8 is 120. We go all the way up to 120. We'll do a little bit more. I know there should be a better way to go about this. Like if we can get some sort of function to figure out the percentage. I guess we could compare it like the max distance, which is yeah, we'll figure that out later. But let's just see if this would work in increments. It would suck if we do all this work and find out it doesn't work, or it doesn't look as nice as I thought it would. So plus 16, that's 80. Plus 16, 96. We'll go up to 96 for now. This is 11 tiles. Can I help? If you're asking me if I can help you making a low poly game in Roblox, I would not even know how to go about that. Alright, so at the moment, our gravity seems like it's very close to our default gravity. Like, this doesn't make any difference here. Minus equals -2. Let's try... I'm going to try just suspending the player for now. We'll suspend the player in 80 and in 96. So, just with testing this out right now, it does seem weird that we would like slow down. Like, we want this game to be really fast, and at the moment, like it still doesn't work properly. But I'm trying to think like this still doesn't look as good as I was hoping for, or like the best case scenario doesn't look as good as maybe I was hoping. So, maybe we should go about this a different way. So usually how I make mechanics work in this game is like there's always like a raw direction that the player goes into, or I don't know if raw is the right like terminology or for vocabulary to use, but like there's always a value that we give to the player. So like a dash takes you a specific amount of tiles. There's usually like no type of momentum. Just because like momentum gives us values that wouldn't be perfect for like speedrunning, or like it wouldn't be like every run wouldn't give you the same result. So that's the issue with using momentum. Whereas like if you dashed or if you hit a spring, you'll always get like a certain amount of distance off. Whereas with this one, it's like, well, one, you have to wait all the way till the end, or like let's say you left at this corner here, it wouldn't give you the exact result you need. I mean, it's okay to have this type of mechanic, but like I usually don't involve that kind of stuff in the gameplay. So like yeah, you can see here it's like we go into like a zigzag, but it's not like a perfect I don't know, like a perfect parabola, so to speak. And sometimes we get these weird jumps, like right there, that shouldn't have happened. But that's just because we're not done coding it. Is the gravity high enough? So yeah, what I do at the moment, how I'm calculating it is I just grab the player's delta, or I'm sorry, I grab the player's gravity and then multiply. Like this is what this value here, it negates. Each of these two values right here negate the player's gravity. And I mean we're doing it in increments of 2 tiles. So like maybe what we would want to do is like leave this to be the way it is. Then maybe for this one we would want to like let's say, what is our player gravity? I don't know what our player gravity is, but we'll say like maybe divided by 2, or maybe like divided by 4. What's a good value? So this is times 2. Maybe we would leave. It's kind of hard to tell. Also, like we do have this motion is equal to. We would want to leave this at 96 actually. And maybe we would actually want to put this at like 32 or something. But honestly, yeah, using these raw value or like actual values isn't good enough. So we would want to work on it like in terms of percentage. and kind of like, the closer the player gets, the higher the gravity becomes, or I'm sorry, the higher the like anti-gravity becomes. I guess we could try doing that, but I still don't think it'll work. But I guess we have to try it out if we want to see its like potential. So player distance, what we could do is say like player distance divided by the max distance, and I guess that would give us like the gravity we want. So let me comment this out for now. Let's try this out. Let's say if player distance, or let's grab player percentage first, or percentage distance. So, or float. We'll call it distance ratio. It's equal to player distance divided by our max distance. So right now we're doing it in base on 96. Honestly, we could try the max distance. Let's do that. What is our max distance here? I think it was 15. 15 times 8 is 120. So divided by 120. And then we would want to multiply, I'm trying to think. So the lower the distance, the higher we would want to set our player motion to. So we can try dividing this distance ratio by our player's gravity. So okay, so if lift player is equal to false, and we would run this all the time then. So I'm gonna comment this out as well, and maybe this will give us some more consistency. So we'll say player motion player.motion is equal to or minus equals player gravity divided by our distance ratio times delta. That might give us some better results, but we don't know until we try. Wait, I'm trying to think. Our distance ratio is divided by 120. So the closer it is to 1, so it'll always add gravity to the player. At the moment, I think it'll always add gravity to the player. Let's see. Oh, player motion.y. Okay, so I think this is a little better. But I think we would want to like, oh wow. This is kind of nice, actually. This is closer to what I was hoping for. So I do like the mechanic. I'm just wondering... Well, one, it's too powerful at the moment. And two... we can get suspended into air right here. So, like, you would want to get closer to the bottom to get like that high jump. Oh, and jumping messes with us too, because we're like right at the base. So if the player enters this hitbox, we want to make sure we reset the player's gravity, or set it to like negative 0.1, just so that we make sure that they're in the falling animation, or just make sure it resets. Because right here, if we just jump into it, you can see we kind of like override the player's movement. Alright, so let's try making this a little weaker. Let's divide this by 2. Distance ratio divided by 2. That might be too much, but we'll work in increments of 2, or thirds. So divided by 2 is not bad. It gives it a more like tame feeling, which is not the worst thing in the world. We can try something in between, so like divided by 2 times 3, or times 1.5, or sorry, what is math? Yeah, let's try divided by 1.5. Still seems pretty slow, actually. And slower than what it was. Wait. Tried dividing it by 2, that was... Let's try 1.2. Yeah, it's important that we have like some sort of consistency with this. Why does it seem... Oh, okay, okay. This is a little better, in my opinion. I think what we would also do is maybe shorten the power of like the hitbox here. So like, I'm trying to think here. I think we want our max distance to be the top of that of those particles. Right now, like the hitbox reaches the top of these particles here. And I think we also might want to do something. Oh, so yeah, it's strange because like sometimes we hit the roof here. So let me try 1.5 again. Now that I understand how we want this mechanic to work. So if we did this, I'm also concerned that people might not understand how exactly this mechanic works. And 1.5 gives us such a high acceleration as well. So I'm going to try decreasing the hitbox here. I have to use the bathroom, so I might honestly end the stream here and we'll start it again shortly. Let me see this. As long as we don't hit the roof, I think we're fine. So I think I won't know until we I'm gonna take a break here and I'll think about it like while I'm in the shower or something, because like it's hard to tell. Like the mechanic itself might be fine, but I feel like it would be hard for people to understand how the mechanic works. So we would want to make it easier to understand. Is like what I'm kind of gathering here. Because like at the moment, I don't think most people would understand that you have to get closer to the base, and I actually don't even know if that like makes the most, if that would like like physically, like in terms of real physics, if that would actually shoot up the player more than just being suspended in the center here. Yeah, I just don't know. I would assume not, but yeah, like I said, I don't know much about physics. So yeah, we'll figure that out. Maybe I'll look into it. Like I'll look at like, you know, if you've ever seen those like what's it called? There's like those buildings with the fake parachuting or like fake skydiving, and there's like this air that shoots you up. Maybe I'll look at that. I'll watch a video on how that works. And then we would want to like apply something similar to this air pad here. So I that's what I originally thought, like 2 zones, or like the thing is, I would like to have like I wouldn't want to have just 2 zones, because then you would get like 2 different values for like those sections. I think it would be better if we did it like, if we like, I don't know, like computationally made it work, where, you know, depending on your distance from that bottom zone, or like that bottom section, you would get shot up further than if you were just on the top. But it should all be, because like sometimes the player might land, you know, slightly below the top, or slightly below the bottom, and I don't know, I feel like maybe they should be shot at the same distance to if they just started on the bottom, because like it's still the same. Like I feel like you should still hit the same exact point that you were trying to reach, no matter what. But I don't know exactly. Like, one, we need to make sure that it's physically possible, or like it makes sense physically, and then 2, we need to make sure that it works for the game, or it's like responsive for the game, and then 3, we need to make sure that the player is like fully capable of understanding how the mechanic works, or like it just makes sense. For me, obviously it would make sense because I'm coding the game and I would know how the mechanic works, but like if someone were just to play the game like randomly, they might not figure out that the bottom zone is what shoots you up further. Like I feel like most people would assume that no matter what, you would reach a certain point if you hit that air pad. But yeah, I'm not sure if it's obvious, and we would have to figure out what to do there. I mean, we could introduce, like, if that's what makes the most sense physically, we can try to introduce the mechanic slowly so that the player understands. But because we're doing a demo, we don't have too much. I mean, we have as much freedom as we want, but like, are we able to teach the mechanic in like 3 rooms? I'm not sure just yet. But we'll figure that out. So yeah, I'm gonna take a break here, but I'm gonna think about it. I'll watch some videos, like, you know, like that skydiving video, and I'll get back to you guys. And then after that, we're gonna work on the swinging rope mechanic. I want to combine the air elevator, or like this jump pad, with the swinging rope, and see like what combinations we can get for level design. But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. I will see you soon. Peace.